So I don't even know where to begin. Like, you're gonna have to help pull this out of me a little bit.
Well, I'll say the basis of the conversation we were going to have.
Was like how to properly get over someone.
If that's what you still want to do.
I just feel like it'll be good to give the people who listen to the podcast a little bit of an insight of maybe where my head's been at, because I feel like the past few episodes I haven't even been in this room because of my mind, and I mean, it just has not been here. I ended, I guess we'll just call it a relationship. Like, I'm sick of the situationship term. I ended a relationship last week that has hurt me. Like, I've literally like cried every day. I like don't know what's going on. And it was only 5 months, but I'm like in tears every day. And I'm like, how do you properly get over someone who you didn't end because you stopped liking them? You ended because they couldn't give you what you needed.
We're your besties in your ear. Back for another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Good. Oh my gosh, right on the cusp. I can't say good morning because it's afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. You have a nice little glow.
You know what? You know what glow I have?
What?
It's funny. I have my period glow.
Same.
And this morning, Graham woke me up and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm in a bad mood." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, because I'm on my period." And he was like, "Right, but why are you in a bad mood?" And I was like, "You're never going to get it. You don't understand. Like, I can't get out of it. I can't fix it. It's hormones. Like, you're never going to understand just being in a bad mood." And I'm jealous of that. Like, I was like, what's that like to just not have that?
Okay, so question. Because there's two different reasons I'm in bad moods during my period, because I'm also on my period today. I started it today. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Are you in bad moods because of physical pain or this like over like suffocating irritability that comes along with your period?
So physical, I like welcome. I think it's cool. Like, I'm like, oh, I've got cramps. Like,
Ew.
my feet hurt because I can attribute it to something. I got a manicure last night and I don't like my pointer finger. Like, it's filed slightly wrong. And I'm like, ugh! But I know, I'm like, you don't give a fuck about your pointer finger. And it looks all the same. It's the most irrational. I'm like, just let it go. And I have gotten to that point in my life where I can be like, you're mad for no reason. And in 3 days, you're going to laugh at yourself. But it's just like, so I just kind of mope around and I'm like, oh, it's the time. But he doesn't. Okay, I went to PBR. And the guys, I asked them if they wear cups when they ride bulls, and they don't. And I was like, God, that would hurt so bad, like to have your balls squished. And he's like, you don't, like, you're never gonna know.
I mean, I feel like it might be kind of like getting your boobs just like smashed.
No.
It's so crazy. No. So my period symptoms have changed over the past few months, and I think it's probably because we're syncing up. But my boobs hurt so bad where I was at the chiropractor the other day on my stomach getting cracked. And I literally was like, oh my God, this hurts so bad because any pressure was killing me.
Maybe I gave that to you because that used to be my biggest one.
I think you did.
I don't have it anymore.
You gave it to me. But it's crazy because like my boobs get really big up into my period. But the second I get my period, it's like a balloon popping. They just shrink back down to the normal size.
Yeah, I love period boobs because they're like big and I'm like, cool.
No, literally, I got out of the shower like 2 days ago and I was like, damn, girl, did you get a boob job? And then I got out of the shower today and I go, it's because I got you today.
Oh, they don't stay big during your period?
The moment I get my period, it's like that's when the balloon happens and it just goes shh.
I'm all for the period glow because like my skin's better.
What?
Yeah, I think
it's bad.
You could give me an Advil and tell me it's an Adderall and I would think I could focus the whole day. So I read one time in Allure when I was like 17 years old that the best part about your period is that your skin has like a little extra shine to it and you have a little extra glow. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm never going to Google it. But I always thought since then, I was like, oh, my skin's better on my period.
You are shining today.
Good for me.
Like, I would say we're glowing, but my skin isn't better on my period. I get like more redness, and like if I ever get acne, it's during my period. But I do think I have the glow today too. I feel like we both do.
Yeah, it's like a little extra shine.
Yeah, it's scary how much it mimics pregnancy symptoms.
Yes, I know. I love that for the pregnant people though, because it's like if we're gonna have the period and we're gonna have the babies and all that, give us some good things.
Yes.
Okay, before we go any further, let's talk about the one and only Pink Whitney, because this podcast is sponsored by our favorite Pink Whitney. So go to your local bar today, because we are we can no longer say the new year because it's the third week. So I think we're done with that. I think if you're doing dry January, you just kind of punt it and go to your local bar with your friends and order a shot of Pink Whitney, because it's still 'tis the season. Punting.
I feel such crazy energy coming off you today. I'm like, I think it might be a good episode.
I woke up and I was like, I'm psycho.
You woke up and you're like, wait, what is that saying? Where it's like, I woke up and chose
war.
Yeah, you woke up and chose destruction today.
Yeah, I've been choosing that the past like 9 months. Weird of me to say 9 after we talked about pregnant.
Yeah. Anyways, Alex, how was your weekend?
It was great. I went to Cabo.
That's why I said you have a nice glow, because I was referring to a tan.
I chose more that day when we had a boat day, and I was like, I don't know, no sunscreen.
Alex.
I know, but I never, ever do that.
Even on your face?
Even on my face. Well, now, granted, I do know my lotion every day has like 45 in it. So I always have some protection on. And then my tinted moisturizer also has some on it. So I was probably wearing like 80. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Well, no, I'm cooped up. I always put on sunscreen and I just wanted to let it fly. What?
Okay. If you don't follow Alex, you should. But there was something around your neck that was pretty large the whole weekend. What if you would have gotten a tan line? And I'm referring to this massive necklace she wore all weekend. What the heck, Alex?
Are you trying to bring back Francesca's necklaces and stuff?
No, that's not my question. My question is the tan line.
Tan line.
Yeah, I was worried about that. Well, I had a spray tan.
I don't care. That doesn't protect you.
I know.
Can you imagine?
You come back, you just have like this legit line like down your neck.
Just like it's right here. I got that. Okay, so the theme was Belle Claire, because her name's Claire, so it's like Bel Air. And on one of the nights we did like old Hollywood. So I Amazoned like chunky jewelry for like $9.99.
I was kind of here for it, to be honest.
Thank you. A lot of people were like, what are you doing? I'm like, why do you fucking care what I'm doing? I'm wearing a necklace.
No, like I kind of was vibing with the swimming suit with the chunky necklace.
So was I.
I kind of felt it.
Then I wore it with the sweatshirt.
Felt that too.
And I was like,
I thought you looked adorable the whole time.
thank you. I honestly did too. I was like, I love this little necklace.
I loved like the little hair thing you had in, like on the boat.
Nice.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like you had like a wrap in.
I had a scarf and I just like tied it.
Yeah, I vibed with everyone's fits. I thought you guys were an adorable bachelorette party.
That is so sweet. Thank you.
Whoever doesn't fuck them.
I took, we did like the whole thing too. I was due for a bachelorette party. Here's the thing.
Oh, were you?
I've been a bridesmaid back in my day.
Wait, do you have any single single friends besides me? I feel like a lot of your friends are married.
Yeah. I would say I have like 3 single friends that I just thought of.
Okay, so you have a few more bachelorette parties coming up.
I got a couple more left in the arsenal. I love them though. Like I love any excuse to celebrate somebody. Mm-hmm. But this one was extra nice because we're a little older now. Like I probably haven't been on one. I went on like one last year, but it's probably been a couple years, like 4 years since I was really in the heat of my bachelorette parties.
How old's the bride?
Turning 30 in a month.
Okay, so you guys were all in your 30s, like near 30s.
Yes. And so it's like, it was so nice because we would drink during the day, all day, but it wasn't like shots. Like we weren't like falling over. Like I've thrown up on bachelorette parties. I've been so deathly hungover that it's so nice to go on a bachelorette party now and be like, oh my God, I'm mature enough to enjoy it. Like I know my limits. I know I should go to bed and get some sleep. I should wake, like it was so refreshing. And this is my biggest tip now for bachelorette parties. Simplify meals. I went on one last year and then this one where we just made meals so simple. It wasn't go to brunch, go to lunch, go to dinner, get ready for all 3, because then you spend your whole entire time eating. Mm-hmm. It's expensive. You're waiting on the check. The vibe totally depends on the restaurant you're at. These last 2 I went on, we would eat dinners at the house. Easy. You're like in your pajamas, you're getting ready. It's paid for or it's significantly cheaper. And then we did one dinner out, and that was fun because you got dressed to go to the dinner. But other than that, like meals were easy.
Love that.
And that was like my favorite thing ever.
No.
How many nights were you there? 3?
Nice.
3 nights. Yeah. Yeah, 3 nights. And it's nice too because people are like older now. So when the check comes, like I made this video and I was like, things I've done on this one that I haven't done on other ones. And it's like, this excludes like the past 3 years, but the ones I went on like right after college, like I had to have my parents help me pay for things still because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
So if somebody's like, hey, this is going to be $1,500, you're like, I don't have that right now, just sitting. And now it's like nicer the older you get because you can like save and you're like, I would love to get a round of drinks.
I have a question for your bachelorette parties. Does the bride pay for anything, or do you split it amongst all the girls and you also pay for the bride's like airfare and hotel?
It depends. So like this bride paid for her own stuff, and
nice.
she actually paid for a lot of our stuff.
That's really nice.
I like that.
It
It was
was
its destination.
because she chose Cabo. She paid for. I mean, honestly, we were so spoiled. Like I left so thankful, so relaxed. Like I didn't make money on the trip, but like damn near didn't go in the hole at all, except for like my flight.
Yeah.
And I felt so appreciated by her. Now, so I felt like a really loved bridesmaid. The other side of that is everyone in your bridal party is so happy to split the cost for you because we're celebrating you. So I think it just depends on, it depends on the mood and like the tone set really early on though. Like when you're invited, she's like, hey, we're picking Cabo. I'm going to pay for XYZ. Like you get a pretty good gauge on how things are going to go. Or when the first text is sent out, it's like, hey, we're going to Miami. We're staying in hotels. This is going to be the cost for everybody. I think the biggest thing is like laying out the cost early. They're so much less mad, right?
You have to do that. That's the most respectful way to do it.
Totally. Like getting it out early. And like, yes, I agree. Okay. So I have 3 things I want to report from the trip.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So the bride is in phenomenal shape. She's in, I love a bride diet.
She's stunning.
She's stunning. She's the cutest thing ever.
She really is the cutest thing ever.
So stinking cute. I want to take back my verbiage I just used. I don't love a bride diet. I love a bride in preparation to be a bride in arguably one of the best days of your life. You're going to take a lot of photos. I think people like to get in shape for that moment. I loved, somebody said to her like, oh, you're so tiny. And she was like, no, I feel so good. And I was like, I love that. Like, she doesn't want to be skinny. She doesn't want to be X, Y, or Z. She's like, I want to feel good. She's in shape. She's eating healthy, but she's still like having a blast. Like she went full send. And I was like, I'm not here to say how you should or shouldn't describe a girl's body because that's to each their own. But I thought, what a cool thing to say, not about how I looked, but how I felt.
No, I love that. And we've talked about this on the podcast before. I don't think you ever should ever compliment someone around their weight because then that makes them feel like their worth has to do with their weight. You should never say if someone's skinny. You should never say if someone's bigger. Like, it's never a good thing. You should always ask how they feel versus saying anything about how they look.
What about like, you look great?
That's fine because you're not saying like, you look so tiny, so you must feel great. Or you're not saying anything about the size. You're just like, you look great.
Yeah. And then I think also, I've learned this, like I know some of my friends who want to be skinny. Like they don't want to be toned. They're like, I'm going for skinny. And they'll drop like little hints. And then I'm like, I know I can give you look tiny. And they're like, thank you. But it took me like years to understand like that's their thing. And I will give them that compliment if I know somebody loves their skin. You know, like they love to take care of their skin or something. I'll be like, your skin looks good. Like giving people the compliments that you kind of know they like.
Yeah. I have worked really hard on this to never, like if I'm complimenting you, I'm never going to be like, Alex, you look so small in that dress.
No.
I'll always be like, you look so good in that dress, or that dress brings out your eyes. Like I have worked on that for so long because it affects me so much to never comment on someone's weight. And if I do, like last night I was with one of my friends and I was like, your butt looks so big, assuming like that was a compliment. And she was like, that was kind of hurtful of you to say. But I didn't even think about it because yeah, it would be. But in my mind, I'm like, if someone told me my butt looked big, I'm like, hell yeah,
oh my
it
God,
does.
my Nona did that over the summer. She was like, oh my God, Alana, you have such a beautiful body. It's shaped like a pear. And I started crying.
No, I would have. I would
She
too.
didn't understand there's a little bit of a language barrier.
Yes.
So she just meant like I'm skinny on top and like curvy
Yeah,
on the bottom.
A beautiful curve.
But
yeah.
I don't know why the word pear is like triggering. And everyone was dying because I was literally tearing up and she was like so confused.
Aw.
But I just thought that was funny.
No,
but
I
I never I thought that was funny that you said that like you have friends that love to be skinny, so
Mhm.
you'll compliment that. I have friends that are like that, so like they don't eat. And I don't encourage that at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll purposely not say that because I don't like the connection. And I don't, you know what I mean? And it's like my old roommate actually like didn't eat. Like, and other people would be like, you look so tiny, you're this big.
Mhm.
And it would make me cringe because I lived with her and I knew the behavior around it.
It would fuel it.
So I would never, you know, I didn't want to fuel it. Yeah.
I think I'm so in tune. Like I feel like I have so much eating struggle knowledge where I can immediately sense like I struggle with it for 2 years. Like so I understand. So I know the relationship somebody has with food if it's bad. Whereas like I have a really close friend here in New York who like works out a lot, but I know her thing is she's like, oh, I kind of look tiny. And I'm like, I will give you that because I know it makes you feel better. But yeah, if it ever was like a trigger for somebody, I would never do that. But I don't even like think about that because that's just like, that wouldn't even be like an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have to work on that too because sometimes that was a good point. Like if I was like, oh, Alex, you look so skinny today. For all I know, like you could be having huge fights with Graham and not eating because you're so stressed. And then in your head, you're like, well, I probably should keep up this fighting because it's making me skinny. It's making me look good. I just got a compliment. And it's just really toxic.
But you told me I had a big butt or a good, my butt looked good one day. And I was
You loved that.
elated. I was elated. Like that for me was good.
But I learned from my other friend. I was like, okay, I shouldn't have said big butt. I should have said your butt just looks so good. Because it did. Her butt looked incredible. I was like shocked. But in my head, I was like, I should never have used the word big. I'm so sorry. But like, it just looks incredible.
Right. But this is the other thing too. I don't love like removing words or not giving compliments out of fear of like how because that's the other side of it is like, you're like, well, what do I say to them? Because they do look really good. Like, what if you are dieting and exercising and people don't notice? So it's like, that's why I think if you can pick it up it has to, I mean, I'll only probably compliment my core people that I like know.
Yeah.
You know,
with a specific one.
Yeah. Like I know I can say you have a juicy fat ass and you'll probably do some jumping jacks of joy.
And I'll do some squats the next day too to make sure it stays that way.
I don't anything around my butt. I'm like compliment all day because I would love a fat ass.
Yeah, but I feel like our moms hate the butt comments. My mom hates when I say like your butt looks good. She's like, oh, and I have a fat ass.
I think because they grew up in an
Oh.
era where they weren't supposed to have a fat ass. But like now, like we
fat ass
praise
is everything.
That's actually a good point too. I feel like all of our moms also grew up in a very glorified like one body was accepted and that was the bone thin kind of era. But now we're so many bodies beautiful and the flip side of social media is it gives us so many examples of really pretty people in every type of body.
Yeah.
And I feel like that like being able to be like your ass looks good now it's like big asses are cool. Like they're beautiful. It's like we accept everything. I love it. Little boobs, big boobs.
Oh, I just love big boobs and big butts.
See, now I'm in small boob phase.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's more of, I don't know. When I had the period boobs, I was like, I would thrive if my boobs looked like this every day. But honestly, if anyone looked at them, they'd probably be like, they look the same.
I hate my period boobs. They're obscene.
boobs.
Really?
They're offensive.
You're like,
I literally like
I feel like our period boobs are like just enough.
Yeah.
Just a little, just enough that it's like, you, my dear, are perfect. I mean, I'll wear a low cut shirt and it's like, no one noticed, but I noticed.
Oh, hell yeah.
I feel like when I'm on my period, granted, I have an A on a good day. I feel like I could walk to the door and like hit the door with my boobs. I feel like they're so big and it's like, they're not, no one noticed.
No one does.
My own husband like will not notice.
Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, what else did you learn on this trip?
Okay. Also, okay. You know how when you give a speech at a wedding and you're writing it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna say things about her that are really funny, but they're offensive. Like you're telling the story about her throwing up junior year, couldn't get her shit together. And it's like in your mind when you're writing it, you're laughing. But the hater speeches, when you put them out loud, every single time they fall flat. And your grandma's not laughing.
And mixed with alcohol too.
Yes.
A little slurred.
And it's like this person's now like marrying somebody and like his or her parents are there. And you're just doing like the locker room talk at like the bro time. Like, remember when?
Oh.
And it's like, it just falls. We talked about that. We were like, hey, nobody do a hater speech.
If I get married and anyone gives a speech at my wedding and it's a hater speech, there's the door.
Right?
Like, I also don't want to know anything my future husband did. I don't want to be finding out about it on my wedding day.
You know what the biggest like no is? Like, okay, so one of my funniest stories about this girl has to do with an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
You don't tell it.
No!
If you tell an ex story in a rehearsal dinner speech, it's like, we don't want to think about that. Like, you have to pretend like this person only loved one person, make a list of their good qualities.
Yeah.
And only talk about that.
Also, on their wedding day, the only man and woman that exist are the bride and the groom.
Yes.
I hate when the friend makes it about like just their friend. Like they forget it's for the couple.
Oh,
like,
God.
This is not a yearbook entry.
No.
I don't care about how you guys met and the rocky times you two went. This is not your wedding. This is about the couple.
Yeah.
You know
or
what I mean?
when they make it about themselves.
Yeah. Like
is
no
so
one cares.
Stories that like, when
Inside jokes.
Inside jokes are like, you tell a story, but you're the main character of the story and they're a supporting character of the story.
Yeah.
Don't tell that story.
No, please don't.
And I don't care if you like the person they're marrying or not. At one point in the speech, look at the other person, give them a compliment or 7, compliment them as a couple. Like the way it goes, the way the speech has got to go is like, love the girl, love the guy, love them together. Couple of funny stories.
You got to be really selfless on someone else's wedding day. Like, if you have any anger about that person marrying that person, on their actual wedding day, you got to put it aside because you had months before to tell them. But like on their actual wedding day, just let it go and let them get married.
Yes. The true duty of like being in somebody's wedding and getting to give a speech it has nothing to do with you.
Is like the objecting at a wedding actually a thing?
I've never.
I would love to see it. Does anyone object? I object. I would die. That'd be so entertaining, but horrible.
I think it would be awful.
But like, can you imagine if like someone like came up there, professed their love and was like, I've loved you forever, X, Y, and Z. I just was too afraid to tell you.
What if the bride, like what if a guy objected and was like, I've always loved you. And she was like, fuck, I've always loved you too. I just never thought you loved me. And then she looks at the groom and she's like, it's over. I don't know what I would do.
I would cry.
I think I would.
Someone professing their true love vulnerably in front of everyone makes me just want to. It's like rom-com.
It is a rom-com. I just feel really sorry for the other person. There's no way it would happen. You'd have to do it before. You got to do it before. You got to write her a note beforehand and say, I'm in love with you.
Well, I don't think weddings actually ever ask if people object, do they?
Oh, no, they definitely do.
They do?
Yeah, because I was at one. I mean, not all the time because I do always look for it. But I've definitely been to some where they're like, if anybody at this moment, and they make a joke out of it. If you object, please stand up or say aye. And then they're like, oh, got that out of the way. You know, and everyone kind of like laughs.
I've only been to like 3 weddings.
Me too.
Ever?
Like 4. Jason's was my 4th.
Wedding ever.
Yeah.
I have been to, I can't even. I've been to second marriages.
Oh,
That's cool.
Trust me.
Those are cool.
Just imagine like one day when all my friends start to get in relationships and it adds up, I'm going to have like so many weddings throughout my 30s. Literally, it's like
Nervous.
bachelorette party, wedding, and I'll be like 30 starting all of this. And you'll be like 30 being like, I finished it all.
I'll be in babies by then. Like
Yes.
I'm already in that.
Oh, I'm already there too.
Attending baby showers. Okay, next, the other topic is when somebody says, oh, well, I'm a guy's girl. I just want to look at that person and say, that's a cop-out.
That's also, you're insulting yourself.
I need to know the context of how that
Yeah, can
even
you
said.
describe the story a little bit? Like what were you
who
guys
the fuck
talking about?
says that in 2023?
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of girls do.
Like, get
A
real.
lot.
Well,
Like,
this
be
is-
fucking for real.
You know what I thought though? I remember us using I'm just a guy's girl back in the day. I think I remember like in high school and maybe the beginning of college, people would say it because they thought it made them cool. They thought it made them the one. I'll text the guys because I'm the guy's girl. Like, and I don't get along well with other girls. But it's like, no. Getting along well with girls and guys is like the entry fee into the world.
Also, being a girl's girl is a good thing because that means you have your girls' backs. Like, you can still be friends with guys, but being a girl's girl just means like you're at the end of the day, you're there for your girls.
It's a cop-out if you say I'm a guy's girl because you're giving yourself an excuse to not get along with other girls.
Or to be kind of bitchy.
Yeah,
Not
and
saying your
it's-
friend it was, but like that's what I think of.
No, it's a huge, no. We were talking about a scenario we were talking at the table of a scenario of a girl that I don't even know who it was, but she had said, she was talking about how she's a guy's girl. And one of the girls was like, we don't do that anymore. Like, we're all old enough now to know we're all girls. We're girls. We're in a bachelorette party is a perfect time to realize girls get along really well. Like, it was a drama-less, like, no, everyone knew, everyone showed up, everyone gets an A+ on like performance. And sometimes you don't have those. I think that's maybe where the story started of like, well, she's just a guy's girl. So she's okay. That person's okay pissing off other girls because she's a guy's girl.
One time, I think you were included in this story. Someone was talking to us and they literally said, but like, I'm just a guy's girl. Like, I just have more guy friends. And immediately I was like, I will not be friends with you.
Oh my God, who said that?
Well, I can't say right now.
I remember this conversation.
I
can't
kinda do
remember either.
too.
Yeah.
Like, you seem like a really nice girl, but any girl who refers to themselves as a guy's girl, I was like, I can't be friends with you because at the end of the day, you will never have my back or my like best interest in mind.
No, you can be a guy's girl, be a girl's girl, be everyone's girl.
Yeah, just be everyone's girl.
Not everyone. You know what the saying I love more and more?
What?
I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I am some people's shot of whiskey. But you can be a girl and a guy's shot of whiskey. Like, have
Yeah.
a certain person maybe you love more, or like a personality type, or like stand for nothing, fall for anything, like people like that. But that doesn't have to be sex specific. Like, that could be like girl, guy, anything.
Yeah.
Like, you have your tribe, people like that in your tribe you like more.
Yeah. Like, it's okay if your tribe is all guys and you're a girl, but just like, to me, if you're like, I'm a guy's girl, means you don't even try to be nice to the girls.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You can have primarily guy friends.
Yeah.
If you are a girl that grew up with like all brothers, I think a lot of times they're like, I don't know, I just vibe with them a little bit better.
Yeah.
Still love girls.
Exactly.
But
That was
guys,
me
girls.
growing up.
Yeah, guys.
I never would have said that about myself, but I definitely until I was 20 probably like used to take so much pride in the fact that like I was the one that the guys I was a liaison, like, and that made me like feel good about myself. Like,
Yeah.
I would never have said like, oh, my guy's girl, but like I'm a girl's girl for sure. But I used to like think it made me cool, you know, which like looking back makes me cringe. And even when you met some of my guy friends, they were like, Alana's our favorite, like blah, blah. And that was making me cringe so much because like 5 years ago, I would have been like, fuck yeah, like I'm cool like that. Now I'm like, I literally wanted to like throw him off the balcony. I was like, shut up. That's so embarrassing. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think when you're younger, you just like care so much about like male praise.
Or still to this day. I'm just kidding.
But I would never, like, I'm a girl's girl for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, the male praise and then you being like, still.
Well, I mean, it's because I'm trying to work on not getting my worth through men.
Well, no, but that's what I was going to say.
Jordyn.
I think that's what's so interesting is because you're single.
Yeah.
So now, like, being married, I have this, like, it goes to the topic of can you actually be friends with a guy? But
No.
it's like, see, and I think yes, but it's like, I don't even feel like I have an option to be like a guy's girl anymore. But now actually I do. Like, ironically, tomorrow I'm going on a little guys trip with all of Graham's friends. And Graham was like, you just can bro out at the table with them. And it's like, I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be like, I don't want to go with like a group of our guy friends here on like a trip. Unless Graham goes, like, then you're not the guy's girl. It's kind of interesting.
I think guy's girl and girl's girl just is like, at the end of the day, like, do you have your girlfriend's backs? Like, that's like genuinely how I think of it.
No, I actually agree with that. At a surface level point of like, if you say I'm a guy's girl, yeah, you're right. You're just down. It's a cop out to stab the girls in the back and be like, I'm just a guy's girl. They don't because what happens? Guys care less, aren't dramatic, don't give a shit. Girls care more. I don't want to deal with that.
Exactly. Like, we all can bro out, but at the end of the day, like, if you're crying and you call me, I'll be like, sorry guys, I'm gonna go console Alex.
Yeah, I don't give a shit because I'm a guy's girl.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna
like,
stay here and drink beer and like hang out with the guys, and because like I don't want drama.
So
It's like, no, my friend's fucking crying. I'm gonna go hang out with her.
That's my favorite. The sentence of I'm just a guy's girl because guys are so much less dramatic and there's no drama with them.
Yep.
In what world?
In what world?
There's drama is just different than ours, and it's more intense, I think.
Yes. And they hold on to grudges forever because they don't deal with their drama.
And imagine trying to fit in constantly. Like, we're a girl. Like, we're just talking about our literal periods.
Literally.
Like, we're like, I have hormones. And it's like, imagine just constantly trying to be like a bro and not like be in touch with the girl side of things.
Nah.
No, leave that in your teens.
There's the door.
That
I
is
feel like
teenage
guys don't
shit.
even like know their best friends. They don't like know them as intimately as we do.
Don't
Like,
even get me started.
They don't know anything about them.
Did guys like partake? Like, I specifically remember like MySpace top 8 and top 12 was like huge in my life.
I know. I remember that.
I actually was too young for MySpace.
You were?
I wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to get MySpace.
I just went straight to Facebook.
but it traumatized my friends.
Yes, but I don't think guys ever participated or cared or gave a shit about their, like, when it comes to picking your bridesmaids, it's a way bigger deal to us. And the guys are like, let me know the number. I'll call up the boys.
Okay, but you want to know my theory behind that is I think guys, the guys they meet in high school, they like imprint on, and they carry those men their entire life. Like, think about like Graham's groomed your face right now.
They don't even know them 10 years later.
Like, his groomsmen were his high school friends, right? Grow up.
He had, I'll gotta give it to him. He had like 2 from every stage of life.
Okay.
That's good.
But like my brother still to this day will be like, I'll be like, who are your best friends? And he'll say his high school friends. I'm like, gee,
When was the last time you guys talked?
okay, bro.
You know what I don't care about at all is your high school experience if I didn't go to high school with you.
Amen.
Graham will tell me, people will tell me. I'll catch on very early on in a conversation like, okay, so in high school, and I'm like, but leave high school in high school.
I'm like, aren't we 27?
Like
28, 29?
College, okay, because what was college? Semi a level playing field for everybody, and like your university, I could maybe relate to a little bit. I don't give a shit what you did in college or in high school.
I don't even refer to anything pre-New York anymore.
Like, so in high school, I'm like in high school.
I'm literally like last year.
Your parents paid for you in high school.
Like, if you were like, hey, Jordyn, about 7 years ago, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, like this person really hurt. Like,
Are my memories from high school even real? Are they just like a vague dream that I
No,
had?
legitly, like I don't
know if
remember.
they're real.
I love my high school like girls, like that's great, but we're all well, okay, even if your high school friends are still your best friends, fine, as long as you keep up with them. But I don't want to know a lot of stories from the past.
No, like
Your game days, like, okay, so for game day, so here's what we did before. Like, do you want me to sit here and tell you a story about my volleyball game days and what music we listened to? Like, does it help you?
But do you want to know something sad with that? Is those are probably the people, their best time of their life was high school. So they're living in the past still. Like, we don't talk about it because like our best life is still happening. But a lot of people praise the high school days. So they refer to the high school days.
I don't get it though, because like we're not going that way.
I asked someone one time and I was like, what was the best
sad.
time of your life? And they were like, probably high school, maybe college. And they asked me that question. I go, I haven't hit it yet, bro. Boom.
That's right. I don't know. Stay tuned. I haven't hit it yet.
Still
Mic
fucking
drop.
bitch.
And I'm down if you enjoyed high school. I loved high school.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was happy. It was a phenomenal time in my life. But it's however many years ago.
Exactly.
We're not.
I literally don't know who that person was.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
We're not Benjamin Buttoning over here.
No, we are. Well,
Does that make sense?
I'd be down to do a little bit, but yeah.
What's your favorite age? Like your ideal, like if you could freeze time, you would live in that age.
Now.
Now? 27?
Probably 27.
You know, somebody asked me the other day why I don't have kids yet. And I thought about it. And I fucking burned it in my brain. And then I realized the answer.
What?
I was like, I'm at the happiest time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't an easy path to get here.
Fuck no.
So I kind of want to just sit in it for a little bit.
Wait, I love that actually, because
That's really
same.
sweet.
Like, no, same. Because which we'll talk about maybe in a little bit, when I ended something with someone, I'm very sad about it. But deep down, I was thinking, I'm like, but the part of me that's okay is like, I'm okay not being in a serious relationship because I'm in such a happy time of my life. And I just want to like enjoy it.
Yeah, the hard times are hard, so the good times are even better.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to throw a wrench in this right now because, of course, I want kids one day. I want 4 and I want to name them all these little things. But it's like right now,
J.W. Bennett.
J.W. Bennett, Biz Bennett, Beck Bennett. I have all these ideas. But it's like, I don't want to do that right now because we worked. If you're at a happy time, like, I think it's okay to want to sit in it and be like, yes, this is a fun one. And like, listen, give us a month. We'll be like crying in the
pregnant.
microphone.
Oh, 4 hours ago, I would not have said what I just said. Then I went to therapy.
like, I'm happy. Let us be happy for a second. You know, it's like, damn, I don't know.
Yeah, very contradictory over in this household.
Let's talk about your situation if you want.
Yeah.
Want to insert a therapy hat on your therapy?
Yeah. Speaking of therapy, let's get into BetterHelp, baby.
Okay. Quick pause to talk about BetterHelp because this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you are at your best, you can do great things. But sometimes, as we just talked about, life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed or like you're not showing up in a way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get the best version of yourself because when you feel empowered, you are more prepared to take on that everything life throws at you. And here at Mean Girl, we are huge proponents of therapy because it's playing offense, not defense. So prepare for the good days and the bad days. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time at no additional charge. That's incredible. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/meangirl today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/meangirl.
Because Alex, what's the greatest flag of all?
A guy that goes to therapy.
It's the greatest flag of all. That's one of my favorite lines we've ever said.
It's a green line.
No, that's so true though. Like literally, if a guy was like, I go to therapy, I'd be like, marry me. Literally. Let's
Yes.
get this going.
Yeah, it's like, thank you. I know. They don't though. That's okay.
As long as
They can go eventually.
Yep, as long as they have a core good group of people around them where they can be vulnerable with, I guess.
Yeah, they journal. Just kidding. Maybe a red flag is a guy journaling. I don't know.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's so sweet, but I do imagine walking in the room and Graham's journaling. I think I'd be like, oh, wow, I actually can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I might be like very in touch. No, he does journal. I just don't see it because it's really early in the morning before I get up.
I think that when I think of a guy journaling, I think of them writing how much they love me. And when you think of my journals, how much I hate them.
No, I do journal. I journal with the thought that if I'm dead one day and Graham goes back and reads all of my journals, he would be like,
if anyone got my journal, they would think I was a serial killer.
yeah.
The anger that goes into that journal, but that's because anger is something that fuels my sadness and a lot of other emotions in my life. So I try to get all my anger out on paper so then I release it from my body.
I usually do that, and the only time it doesn't work is the hormones.
Yeah.
Have you tried that? To journal out the anger with the hormones? It's like,
No, I don't journal during my period.
oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
It doesn't work. It's like so sad.
I only journal like maybe like once or twice a week now. And it's just to get like all the bottled up like last minute emotions out that I can't let go of.
It's the best release.
It really is. Also, I definitely recommend anyone who's like going through like a confusing time in their life to journal, because then you can go back and read your emotions and feelings and remember how you felt, and it kind of helps you figure out where you're going.
And
Like if you're dealing with a bad breakup.
yes, like if you're, remember, and I think if it gets knotted up in here and if you are forced to put it out on paper, then I think it helps you process it and it doesn't seem as big to you.
Yes.
And it helps you organize it.
Exactly.
Talk to us about your thoughts.
Yeah, I was
need
like,
my
all
phone
right,
now.
I'm avoiding this conversation, so let's get into it. I actually feel a lot better today, so I'm in a good place to talk about it. Yesterday, if we would have recorded yesterday, I would have been like tissues, like sweatpants and a sweatshirt, but I feel better today. I went to therapy this morning and it was an incredible session. Like, we're good.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Will I feel this way tomorrow? I don't know.
Yeah, yesterday I was a little scared.
I know.
I was a little timid and nervous.
Oh, yeah. I had to leave the office yesterday because I was in tears. I was like, I got to go home. But I haven't cried today, so that's good.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Did you go to Tasty Delight yesterday?
Yes, I did. I also took an edible
I thought so. It was good.
because I was so upset.
That's where the ice cream was from?
Yes. No, sorry. No. I went to Pinkberry.
Oh.
Yeah, Froyo. You can't.
Yum. No, I saw it though, and I was like, oh.
It was really good. I forgot how good. Sorry, I'm avoiding.
Talk.
So I don't even like know where to begin. Like, you're gonna have to help pull this out of me a little bit.
Well, I'll say the basis of the conversation we were going to have,
Oh, was like how to properly get over someone.
if that's what you still want to do.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I just feel like it'll be good to give the people listening to the podcast a little bit of an insight of maybe where my head's been at, because I feel like the past few episodes I haven't even been in this room because of my mind, and I mean it just has not been here. So yeah, I feel like I ended, I guess we'll just call it a relationship. Like I'm sick of the situationship term. I ended a relationship last week that has hurt me. Like I've literally like cried every day. I like don't know what's going on. I usually don't cry or handle my emotions very well. I like am realizing maybe I don't properly deal with breakups or ending things. Like I had a boyfriend of 5 years, and after we ended things, I didn't cry. I ended things with someone after a year, and I was like, all right, let's move on. But now I ended this with him, and it was only 5 months, but I'm like in tears every day. So I've never fully explained the full timeline of this relationship because it's been all over the place. And I've also dated people because him and I have been on and off since August. So it's been 5 months, and I've dated people in and out of that. But he's the person that I talked about back in that episode. I don't remember what episode it was, but it was the people treat you how you let them. He was that guy
From the wedding.
from the wedding. Oh yeah.
He wasn't at the wedding, but the drama happened via phone while you were at the wedding.
I forgot about all of this.
Yeah,
Oh
me
my
too.
God. So yeah, he was the people treat you how you let them guy from that one wedding that I had to end it with because he wasn't ready. And then I dated another guy in between, but then I reached out to him. And then like two weeks later, we were like back on, and we were back on for a few months before ending. So he's been in and out of my life for a while.
So yeah, I'd say middle of November, you turned it back on. Because
like beginning of November, we saw each other, and then we started talking again.
yeah. So then it's been
But we were exclusive at the end of November. Yeah.
so that was the thing, and then it just recently ended again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you were on for the month of December, really?
Yeah, a little bit of November and then all of December.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like on and off for like 5 months. Yeah. Which like, I don't know why I beat myself up about this, but I know some people listening will be like, Jordyn, it's only 5 months and you're that distraught. And it's like, my therapist was like, you can't allow people to come at you about that. I don't know why, but in my head, it's like, I'm not allowing myself to have valid feelings because it wasn't long enough. I know it's crazy. Your face.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If anybody doesn't understand how girls are wired,
Yeah.
it can be a week.
Also,
and
when you like someone.
it can level you. You don't even have to have talked to them.
Yeah.
And you can be like, I can't get over it. Like, no, it doesn't. Time has nothing to do with, no. People have, if there's a girl listening, she will not hate on that because she has the same brain we all do.
That's true. And I'm like, how do you properly get over someone who you didn't end because you stopped liking them? You ended because they couldn't give you what you needed. AKA what you and Graham went through a little bit. Because you didn't break up because you stopped loving him. You broke up because he cheated on you.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
So I was like, who could I ask these questions to? Miss Alex Bennett? Like, my biggest thing is, like, how did you, I know, like, very different. I mean, you guys dated how many years before he cheated on you?
Maybe 3.
3 years. And, like, he cheated on you. very different situation. I'm aware of that. But like, how did you properly grieve someone you had to end things with because it was for your better well-being, not because you stopped loving him or caring for him or liking him?
Yeah. So
It's a loaded question.
no, it's not loaded. It's just it hurts because, or it hurts and it's hard to answer because looking back on it now, I know I'm trying to not answer it knowing I had a success story.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I think that's very detrimental because the largest part, people will DM me a lot and they're like, how did you know you were going to get back together? And I'm like, that's the least important part. The most important part is if I can put myself right back to when I got the phone call that he cheated on me once and I got another one all in one day. And I put myself to the next day when I wake up. And it's like, you are devastated, sick, you're all these different feelings. But what you know is you have to break up with and end it with this person because they don't serve you. And you know it in your heart of hearts. Is it going to be hard to do? Yes. Are they going to try to get you back? Probably. And the thing is like, the first step and the most important step is like knowing it's over. And I think a lot of people hold on to this, the what if. Well, we could, but what if he apologizes? What about this scenario? None of it matters because you can't get back together with somebody who hurt you, can't give you what you want, any of those things, unless you fully, because you get to be selfish and it's hard, but you have to say, it is over. I am going to move on. Is there a chance that something else happens moving on? Yes. But you have to say, you have to end it for yourself and let go of all hope or what ifs in your head.
No, I appreciate you saying that because I think that's the part that I've been struggling with the most is because when you end it with someone, usually it doesn't just like end like that, cold turkey. They're going to want to talk again. They're going to try to apologize. They're going to try to win you back. And that all happened in a very short time. And it was like a roller coaster of emotions. And we ended on a really positive note. Like at first we ended on a very bad note.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fueled with anger and I was fine. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I literally was like, fuck him. He hurt me so bad. I'm going to live my best life because I'm fueled with anger. But then you sit in it and then you have another conversation and you guys have a good conversation. And then you start to be fueled with like sadness. And you're like, oh my God, now I actually miss you.
Mm-hmm.
You hurt me, but I miss you now.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain over the past few weeks have just been like contradicting itself. It's like one moment I feel like this and I feel good and strong. And I'm like, today's gonna be a great day. But then I hear like a song or I wake up or I smell something or like a memory or I see him and I'm like distraught in tears. And I'm like, maybe I should give him that one more chance. And it's just like exhausting. Like I was in therapy this morning and she's like, what's like the biggest emotion that you're feeling? She's like, don't say sadness. And I was like, it's the exhaustion that's just coming with this whole thing. Because at the end of the day, it's like so sad that someone you cared about didn't seem to care enough about you to show you and give you the love that you thought you deserved. And it's just like this exhausting feeling that I think a lot of people feel. And it's like, how can someone that I cared about so much not have cared about me enough to like show me that? And I just have to remind myself like every day that at the end of the day, you were hurt and that hurt's never going to go away. And like, that's a big enough reason not to go back until maybe they change. But I don't know about you, but another thing that I can't stop thinking about is, well, what if he comes around in 6 months? Like, I don't know if you felt like that. If you were always like, what if Graham does come around?
So that's okay. So I'm trying to make mental notes as you're talking.
Sorry, I just said a lot.
No, it's good. The first thing was questioning how can somebody I love that much hurt me that much? You can't process that.
Yeah.
You can't understand it. And I would say the quicker you stop asking it, the more of your emotional strength you'll gain back.
Yeah.
Because there's not an answer to it. Well, there is. It's their problem, though.
Yeah, it's not something that I can ever figure out on my own.
And it had nothing to do with you. It's their demons.
Mm-hmm.
Always. For Graham, it was entitlement. You know, for your guy, it's something else that lies with them.
Mhm.
But if they wanted to hurt us and then they didn't care, we would know that because they would never try to get us back. They would never say sorry.
That's
so
true.
the answer is they're actually the problem with that.
We can't put our self-worth on that.
Yeah, you can't be like, I just want to understand it because you're not going to understand it.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is, okay, holding on to this what if in 6 months they change, I think is the worst problem that we have as people, because I think we say, I'm going to break up with them 99% in my heart, but I'm going to leave the 1% in case it does work out. And I think it's the worst thing we could do.
Fully.
Because I think it's no longer in our control. If these guys, and roles could be reversed, but if somebody is going to hurt somebody to the tune that I was hurt, to the tune that you were hurt, we have to break up. We owe it to ourselves to end it with them 100%, to go on other dates, to say it is over. Because if they, I almost hesitate even saying this part. I almost texted it to you, but then I was like, no, because you have to take it out for what it's worth. And don't count on this happening. But if they want you back, they can knock on your door every day for 6 months, because you need to know if they hurt you that bad, they will never fucking hurt you that bad again. Because once somebody hurts you once, cheats on you once, fine. Fool me once, I do think it's shame on them. But if they fool you a second time, it's shame on you. So what do you want to be? Damn near certain with every bone in your body that it doesn't happen again. And what does that take? It takes time.
Mhm.
So it takes you fully shutting them off, saying, no, in a way, fuck you. And I'm saying fuck you because I need that.
Yeah.
I need that for me. And I need to say, I'm going to date other people. I'm going to give myself a chance and I'm going to go run. And if you want me, by the time you've caught me, it will have been so relentless that I will never, ever, ever question that you'll ever do it again. And it's like that level of like, we are broke. And it makes you even want to cry thinking about it, because it took every ounce in me. And it took days where I would just bawl and be like, I can't not respond. Like because what do you want to do? You want to hug them and you want to accept them back.
Yeah.
But it's so short term that it takes something inside of you being like, we're over, and you have to mean it, and you have to let go of that what if.
It's almost like you redate a new person.
It's you've broken up with that. Yes. That might be the best way to actually think about it. That person you broke up with.
Mhm.
A new one can come along, but it's the best way to think about it. Graham said this. I said, what was going on when you were doing?
God, I feel like I'm going to cry if you hear what Graham had to say.
It actually did kind of make me tear up a little bit. Well, first of all, he's like, when you were going on other dates, he kind of had a mentor in the process.
How long was it? Was it 6 months or was it a year?
It was a year before we were fully back together. It was 6 months of like, do not talk to me.
When did he start the letters? Like, I don't want to, I'm just like curious. Was it
like a week?
Oh shit.
I mean, it was pretty fast. So I would go on other dates with people. And the thing that his mentor told him was, good, let her do that. Because if you do get her back, she won't have any question about that, because she will have explored other options. And if things do work out here, she's seeing all these guys aren't you, which was what was happening. He tried for a very long time with zero response from me, which every day him relentlessly doing it did show me that he meant it. But this was my biggest one. He knew to his core that he wanted to be with me. And he said he knew it from the day we broke up. And he said his biggest piece of advice to people would be, if you don't have that like burning feeling, like that 100% feeling like this is my person.
Oh my God, I'm going to start crying.
He said, I would say, go enjoy your life and don't bother with that person, because he said getting the right person back is hard work. It's emotional and it's emotionally exhausting. And it takes a lot out of you. And it's you're signing up for like a shitstorm of a year and just a lot of pain. So that's getting the right person back, but getting the wrong person back would be draining. And he's like, we're all young and we have a lot of life left. So if you don't have that every ounce of being in you, this is my person. He's like, I wouldn't bother, because it's just a mess.
Well, and like, you'll know when you have that feeling. Like, and if you haven't felt it yet, that's okay. That means you haven't found your person. But like everyone who's experienced that feeling like knows it's just something that's intuition. Because I feel like people will be like, well, how do you know you have that feeling? It's like, you'll know.
You just know.
You just know.
You
That was
never
so
had another
sweet.
breakup that you felt like this for?
So I learned in therapy that I am someone who mourns losses during versus after. So like with my 5-year relationship, I knew for about 6 months I wanted to end it with him, and I mourned it throughout that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was ready to break up with him, I'd already
there.
mourned it. I was there.
Okay.
With like that toxic relationship, it was never good. So I was mourning it every single day for an entire year. When I lost my grandpa, everyone knew he was sick for so long. So she's like, you're just someone who mourns pre. But with this situation, I didn't mourn it pre because it was so, on and off for so long, where this is the first time I'm like understanding that it can't be a thing, if that makes sense. So now I'm mourning it.
You had hope before.
I mean, you guys
Yeah.
knew how much hope I had.
Would you almost say too, though, like that was so fascinating, mourning like during?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
No idea. Would you say you never even got to fully enjoy this one either because it was so much? Or do you feel like there was a time when you fully enjoyed it and that's why it hurts so bad now? Or that you felt like you never got the best out of it?
I think both. I feel like I never got the best out of it, but I don't blame myself for that.
No, let me tell you what. Don't. You can't.
Yeah, no, I didn't get I think what I truly mourn is like I never saw the best version of him because he has so many things he has to deal with that he wasn't allowing himself to give me his best version because he was like always pushing me away.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah. So it's like I'm mourning the person I met because the person I met is not the person he is today. But yeah, I also think too, something that what you talked about, how you were saying like the fuck you, that's something I need to work on. Because this morning I was talking to my therapist and I was like, for some reason I feel so guilty going on social media and seeming happy because I don't want them to think I'm happy, because if they think I'm happy, they'll think I'm over them. And then in my mind, if they think I'm over them, they'll stop working on themselves. Not that I even know if they are working on themselves. And she was like, say that again one more time. And I did. And she was like, so you're telling me you only want someone to work on themselves if they know you're not over them? And I was like, wait a second. That's so valid. I want someone to work on themselves because they want to, not because they want me to want them to.
You have to, and anybody that deals with this has to say, it's not, when I say fuck you's almost a mentality. It's like nobody wishes ill will towards any of these people. Like it's just very much so of you go be happy, you go look forward.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever happens with him, you saying I want you to still work on yourself is entertaining a little bit of like what could happen in the future.
Yeah.
And you got to go all for Jordyn right now.
I got to let that go like fully.
And it's hard. It's
Fully.
so much easier said than done. But you being like, I don't want to show that I'm happy on Instagram. You go be your best, happiest.
I know.
Fuck that.
I know.
Why would you try to not be happy for someone else, to spare someone else's feelings? That fucked you over.
That's very valid. I have no idea.
Like,
I don't
fuck
know.
that.
Because I'm crazy. I'm just kidding.
But
No, you're sweet.
But I think it's because you also want a little bit of him to be like, she's hurting.
Mhm.
I can keep
You want him
trying.
to suffer, kind of.
Yeah.
And you think if he does know you're hurting, he'll keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's holding on to false hope.
You just hit the nail on the head.
Yes, that's true. You're almost trying to make him work on it so he comes back.
Exactly.
This reminds me so much of my first boyfriend, that he left me for another girl, and I would do anything for him. Like he would call me and I would let him pick me up wherever I was, and like I would hook up with him and stuff. And he was like dating the other girl because I really thought like if like that was gonna go away. And like every time he came back, I was like, he was coming back to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem wasn't going away. Like the other girl was not going away. But I was just so blinded by the fact that he was even just coming back that I would just do whatever he wanted.
The second you allow yourself it's difficult. But like, if let's say he's okay, in my scenario, I was getting letters every day.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'll respond to one a week
Mhm.
just to make sure he still sends them, because it's a little easier knowing he's thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about him. But holding on to that isn't letting anybody go forward. So fully being able to be like, I can be happy. I can show on my story that I am happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allowed to go be happy. I'm not going to talk to him, and I'm going to give it a real shot at me going forward 100%. When you really cut that off,
Yeah.
knowing he might stop, but he might not.
But
But you don't care.
exactly. And if he stopped, like that shows you're not his person.
And if you baby him and give him little carrots, you're not going to know if he really wants it. If he really has it in him to want you back, you will know without a shadow of a doubt. But the only way you're going to know is if you fully cut off and you go. Save yourself.
Mm-hmm. I know. I also learned too that right person, wrong time still equals wrong person.
Every time.
And
Facts.
I had to say that like 3 times to myself today. I was like,
That's a good one.
right person, wrong time still equals the wrong person, Jordyn.
You cannot change that.
No.
Whatever you do doesn't change that.
Exactly. And that's like I said, I've just never never felt the sadness after the relationship.
Mhm.
So this is such a unique feeling that I've never felt
Yeah.
before, because I've learned that I mourn all my relationships during.
Which is probably why your mentality is, if I show him I'm sad, then he'll stay here, because you're used to being able to be sad and
Mhm.
mourning it, but they're still there. So you haven't had to feel the pain right then, but now you're having to feel the pain and cut them off, which is probably foreign to you.
Oh, that's a really good point.
You know, like
Yes.
that you're having to do both, and you're usually just do one then the other.
Yeah, I'm learning a new way of mourning at 27 years old.
Yeah, and then that's okay though. Like, that's just, I mean, it's shitty, but that's why it's hard to cut off the full thought of maybe it'll happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Because typically if you're still with somebody, but you're like, I don't even love this person, but I don't want to end it yet.
Yeah.
You know, because by the time you ended it with those people, you were like, thank you. Like,
Yeah.
wipe your hands off. But with this one, you were like, wait, I still liked you.
Exactly.
It's kind of like your first heartbreak, probably.
Feeling it this way fully. Yes,
Mhm.
1,000%. I'm like, literally, I don't remember the last time I cried every single day. Like, it's been like 2 fucking weeks. When is the tears gonna stop?
You know what's so funny about that too? Don't you wonder, because right now you're so in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably can't really see till Friday right now. You know, it's hard to see 2 days in advance when you're the one with your heart broken.
Yeah.
And then one day you'll wake up and like, you won't cry. And it's like, I feel like when you have your heart broken, it's one foot in front of the other,
Mhm.
but you cannot look a mile down the road.
No. I've never been this present in my life.
Yeah, you're like, I'm stuck here because I can't even imagine next week, because am I still crying next week or am I over him next week?
Literally. Like for you, like, because a lot of people have DM'd us, and I swear to God, like, not to bring astrology into it, Mercury retrograde is destroying relationships left and right.
Oh.
So a lot of people have been DMing us, and they're like, me and my ex, or me and my relationship just broke up. What do I do? Like, what do I do? What are the next steps? So like for you, for someone who went through it, like how did you get through it? Like, I feel like we should just leave people with some like tips or tricks, even if there maybe aren't any, just so they don't listen to this and they're like, that was a really sad story. What are you gonna do now, Jordyn?
Right. Okay. Well, this is my biggest tip. When your heart breaks, it broke for a reason, because you were happy before that and you were in a good relationship, or at one point this brought you joy. So
Mhm.
anything after that, of course, is going to break your heart. I remember I was in bed for 3 days, and like I don't really remember the 3 days. And I woke up and my roommate had come in and removed all of his pictures out of my picture frame and turned them upside down. Like I was in that mode, and I think the biggest takeaway is, if you're in that mode, know you're normal,
Mhm.
know it sucks, but know that there's life on the other side of it. The one thing you can't do is make it easier on yourself and go back to them. If you know in your heart of hearts, and by knowing in your heart of hearts, you have to close your eye. You know, you got to get quiet, and you got to say, in your heart, I'll tell you, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bitch for a couple months. You're going to cry. You are going to have a classic human heartbreak,
Mhm.
but you'll get through it. Do not go back to that person because it's easier at the time, because at some point you'll get what's coming for you. So surround yourself with good people. Lean on your friends, lean on your girls. Plan something fun. Like when you're so in your head, at least turn on a rom-com, but get through it, journal a little bit, put one foot in front of the other and know that you will be okay. But reach out to somebody too that seriously had their heart shattered because they'll pull you through it. But plan fun things and just also know this, every day it does get a little bit better.
Yeah.
If you go back to the shitty situation, you've just reset it.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Yeah, like yesterday I told you guys I cried all day, but today I haven't cried once.
And accept that win. Tomorrow you might cry.
Yeah.
But every day you're like, I'm further away from the problem, and you are. And let go of, I'm not kidding you, let go of any chance that you will get back together.
Yeah.
Because like release that to whoever you want to release it to, because it'll take care of itself. If you're supposed to get back together, there will not be a doubt in your mind and that person will come get you, but you got to go.
Yeah. No, I love all of that. I think like the two things I've learned is like, one, you have to cut off communication. Like you got to send the text or tell them in person. Like you have to be mean. Like I had to do it. I was like, you have to leave me alone and give me my space. Because one, you lost your right to check in on me the moment you hurt me. But two, we're not together anymore. Like you gotta let me go. Like I know so many people struggle because they don't want to be the mean, like the bad guy, but you gotta tell that person to pretty much fuck off. Like you said, like not like you don't have to say like fuck off, but like leave me alone. Let me mourn, let me get over you, let me move on.
And that's to save yourself, not hurt them. Exactly.
Like, and they know like deep down in their heart, like they know you're not doing it because you hate them. They know you're doing it because you need to take care of yourself.
You're protecting you. It's not, we don't want to be mean. Like I agree. It's not being mean to them.
No. And then also, like you said, let go of the idea that they're ever coming back, but also like remember that your feelings that you felt are always valid. Always valid. I have to remind myself that every day because like your brain will try to switch the narrative on you consistently all the time. But like you felt a certain way, you made a decision, you have to stand firm in that decision and your feelings were valid. Like it sounds so much easier said than done, but like I have to like tell myself that every night, every morning I wake up, every night I go to bed, I'm like, my feelings are valid.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are valid. They're so valid. And they're like valid, but they're also, when you say your feelings are valid, you mean like you ending it is correct?
Oh, sorry. Like when I felt hurt by him, those feelings were valid.
Yes.
Like I was hurt and that was a real situation and I felt hurt and those feelings of feeling hurt are valid.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't just like make up that situation in my head like I was hurt.
Correct. Yeah, that kind of goes what we were saying last week. When somebody does hurt you, you start to look back and think maybe what were you culpable with and whatnot. But it's like at the end of the day, you were hurt to the tune that you needed to end it. So if that is a situation that somebody is experiencing, remember that is valid and accurate.
Exactly.
Because you'll start to feel the butterflies and you're like, but remember all the good times? And it's like, and remember the really bad ones. Those were worse.
Because the bad's always going to outweigh the good at the end of the day. No, that was really nice, Alex. I liked what Graham said too. And it's 1-1-1 right now.
Oh, it is. Wow. Wait, that's kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that's a good point though. If you don't feel it in your heart of hearts, don't try to get this person back just because it's easier.
Yeah, don't be selfish. Like
let it go for both of you.
Unless you that was so powerful. Like unless you feel that feeling, which you'll know if you feel the feeling. If you feel that, fight for them all day, every day. Fight till you're blue in the face. But like if you don't feel it, don't be selfish just because you don't want to be alone or because your ego is getting in the way. Like,
or it's harder. It's harder at the time. It's pain. I close my eyes and I'm like, it's painful.
Yeah.
But we have to. This is just your 20s. I mean, there's a heartbreak between the age of 18 and probably 35 is a heartbreak in there that you think is worse than everyone else's. It is just a shitty feeling.
Yeah. Well, the thing that sucks is like I've gone through plenty of heartbreaks in my past and I truly thought like the next person I dated, like I thought I was done with the heartbreaks. Oh no, there's no set amount of heartbreaks in this lifetime.
No, and you don't get to write the rules because people laugh when we do that. It's always the one you don't think.
Yep. I was like, there's no way I'm going to experience another heartbreak. 27 years old, baby. Hi, JK Jordyn, 2023.
I like the idea of thinking that it's not unique. I don't know. I find solace in that.
Wait, what do you mean?
I find comfort in reminding myself, like, oh, everyone, this is a human emotion.
Yeah.
This is a human experience. Like, this isn't unique to me. You know what I
Fully.
mean? Like, I'm not gonna die.
Yes.
Well, it gives you confidence to when I know I'm going through something that everybody else has gone through, I know I can get through it.
Yeah.
Also think about like your past. Like I've gone through really shitty situations and I was okay. Like I'll be okay this time.
Right.
You know?
You'll look back and be like,
Yeah.
you'll literally gag in 4 months.
When I was flying to,
Hopefully.
it's hard to see right now because
Yeah.
that's because you can't see. When I was flying to back to New York, this guy was on my flight. And I looked at Graham and I just started laughing because he was the guy in high school for me who I remember. It was the only time I cried. I got in the backseat of my parents' car and I was just in hysterics bawling because I was like, I am obsessed with this guy. I'm supposed to marry him and he doesn't even know I exist. My mom turned around and she was like, that's heartbreak number 1, honey. There are many more coming and we all go through it.
Yeah.
Wait, you saw the actual person on the plane?
The actual person, he got on the plane in Oklahoma City and I was like, oh, like he just hit me.
Wow,
And
that is so funny.
I was like, but at the time, little 15, 16-year-old Alex,
Yeah.
I couldn't see past that. And I was devastated.
yeah.
My high school boyfriend destroyed me and now I'm like, who?
Oh my God, same. He actually taught me great lessons. I think.
Same.
I'm so
our
thankful.
my reaction to the way we broke up, like changed.
Yeah,
the
my first
chemicals
cheating
in my brain.
situation, I was cheated
Like,
on.
I was
first
like,
relationship.
please, I would like let him just like come have sex with me, and then like it's so embarrassing. Like,
No, my high school boyfriend, my first boyfriend ever cheated on me and I just like allowed it.
yeah,
Yeah, no. Also, too, learn to be vulnerable with your friends because every single human being has gone through a heartbreak. And like, I have such amazing people around me. Like, it's been so good to like even hear you say more because I don't know everything about you and Graham's breakup because like
Right.
you're married now. Like, you don't want to live in the past. But like, hearing what you just said to me, like, that was so powerful. Like, you're two people who went through the ringer. And yeah, it doesn't always end up that the two get back together. But like, you still went through the pain and felt the pain and you were still okay at the end of it. And like, that's really powerful to see and hear
Yes.
about.
I do think I owe people this too, I guess. If you're if you're in a scenario where you were very much so hurt and you are back together with the person, that part of it too is really hard. And there was like 6 months where I was still really afraid of like him. Or if we were out and he even left me at a bar for 10 minutes, I was like, oh my God, were you talking to another girl? And I feel like that part of it's part of the healing process. And so if you're like a girl or a guy listening to that and you're going through that, just being really sweet to each other and like validating each other and knowing that it is okay because there's still pain there, even though you've kind of gotten to the other side, is just part of the process.
I'm so glad you said that. Like, especially if like Graham being the person who cheated on you, like he needs to know that there's gonna be baggage that comes along, like getting back together with you, and he has to help you unpack that baggage because you guys are a team.
Yeah, and he would hold me physically, and he'd be like, "It's okay," and I would, but that's part of it because that's where you gain trust back.
I love that. I feel like maybe one day too we can like, because I know some people have asked like we can dig into the like, how'd you know you're supposed to go back? How did you know you were supposed to go back to Graham? Like, when did that change? Like, what that process was like? I feel like that could be a whole nother episode that people would want to listen to.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, but we don't want to make this episode too sad.
No, I know. I'm about to like cry, and I'm like, why?
No, same. I'm gonna leave this room and be like, I just need a minute. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's just sad in general because you're feeling it right now. You felt it. I felt it, and it's like you don't ever want that you feel that once, and you really don't want that for anybody.
No, oh my God, no. I would never wish this pain on anyone. Not even my worst enemy.
No, I know. It's like, oh wait,
Heartbreak is the most upsetting feeling ever, and it doesn't matter like the length of the relationship.
no.
So last night I was with my friend and she comes up with these like crazy would you rathers. I have no idea how she thinks of them off the top of her head. And she put on her close friends, would you rather have all of your internet search history leaked or all of your texts leaked?
Internet or search history, like spew it out into the world. Do not show my text messages.
See, I said text.
I think I would do text too.
What?
I don't my internet search history. No, thank you. My text, I don't fucking care.
Wait, what do you guys Google?
I mean, mine would be like porn and like just like all this stuff.
Oh, my Google search history is so
No. Want to know yours is?
dumb proof.
NASCAR, how to be a cowboy.
That's literally it. Like you could read right now. If you read my text messages, I just feel like you'd be like, you idiot.
That's actually a good point.
Like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's the oddest.
That's actually valid.
I don't even know. Sometimes
But like everyone was saying text, and her and I both sit internet. And we were like, "What? Like, what would you say?"
I don't know.
Maybe because I'm not a big texter, I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like my texts aren't. Yeah, my search history is just like dumb.
Like my brain, no one is allowed to ever have this leaked. Like what I like verbally say to people.
Yeah,
But I'm not a big texter, so I don't really mind.
But sometimes I just feel like even my text messages, I would rather paraphrase. This is why I don't want my text leaked, actually. Because sometimes, okay, if I paraphrase to you the conversation I had with somebody, it would make sense. If you read it, you'd be like, well, you didn't, and then it just like doesn't.
True.
You're like, wait, but you were saying something different, and that's like a little different. And it's like,
That's true.
it's all for the greater good of the greater point that I'm getting to, but my words to get there were a little odd. My Google search history is like, do cows shit?
Yeah, I embellish a lot. So maybe my text
Yeah.
would be incriminating.
Actually, Sam, you guys know me, embellish is my middle name when it
Yeah.
comes to telling
It's like you said this to this person, but then you said this to this person.
Mhm.
And then that to the other person.
That's valid.
And you told this person you were sick. You weren't sick.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's good. That's a good point.
Yeah, the shit we say over text sometimes, Google's straightforward.
Yeah, except my search history is not good.
No?
It's dirty.
It's dirty?
Well, it's like porn and stuff.
I would almost rather something dirty about me be out there than I would like.
Yeah, but
True.
Alex, I don't think you're thinking about how cringy porn can get.
No, I'm not.
You're just thinking like passionate lovemaking. Like it can get really specific and really weird.
I've never, I don't even know.
Like I feel like it could change the way you look at someone. if you-
Fully.
Yeah.
Fully.
Oh, so your guys' Google search history is like that.
I literally,
be, babe.
you guys, I legitimately, so I went to the Apple store on Monday to get a new phone. The first thing I did before I walked into that store was clear my search history.
What?
Because I was like, I don't know. What if they need to go into Safari and they start Googling and something pops up? Like, I didn't even care about, they literally were going into my text to see if stuff was sending. I'm like, I don't care. But I was like,
Yeah.
do not touch my search history.
Oh, wow. No, I don't even know how to clear it.
Oh,
Really?
God.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, she dirty. She a dirty girl.
But yeah, my texts, I don't really care if either are leaked. I think the one I wouldn't want is my images leaked. Like I don't want my photos
That's
released.
a good one.
Yeah.
That to me is like, please don't release that. But
You made a good point, though. I guess texting would cause a lot of you having to explain yourself, which my brain capacity does not have time for that. But like search history, you could be like, yeah, I like porn, whatever. But text, you'd be like, okay, let's just take a few steps back.
Yeah,
I wasn't
That's
sick.
true.
no, the other day I had Graham's iPad on the plane and this boss is sending him all this stuff and I click on it and I'm like, you motherfucker, you're not sick. You're not sick. And he's like, oh
We were on a
God.
plane
You know,
to Cabo.
yeah, and he's like in his head, he has this perfectly and I'm like, that made sense in your brain only.
Mhm.
But when you take your brain and give it to everybody else, people start thinking things.
Wait, that's so true. Yeah, like no one would last a day in anyone's brain.
No, because we wouldn't understand it. And like you give yourself these passes and you're like, that works. I'm being a good person, but this works over here. You can't give that up to everybody else.
Our moral compasses are all very, very different.
Yeah, it's like we're just trying to survive.
Wait, that's funny, actually.
Yeah, everyone's brain does work differently.
Yeah.
You know what I just learned from TikTok?
What?
So my whole life,
What?
I always like saw a calendar, like
Mm-hmm.
this like visual calendar in my head. It's like a ring kind of, and like I'm inside the ring.
Okay.
And it's like shaded and like January, February, March, summer's behind me. I found out that that's like a thing. It's called synastia or something like that.
Is
I
it
thought
pe-
I was the only person in the world that did
Is
this.
it people who are like super creative?
I don't know. It's like something like you see things. Like, so in my head, if I think, oh, February 27th, like it's like right there on this like ring in my head.
I
Do you know
think
what I'm talking?
I when you said it's right there, I got what you meant. Like February, I know where that's at in my area.
And like there was this diagram that's literally exactly like what I see. And I've always like tried to explain to people and they're like, what are you talking about?
Wait, what? Well, if you can find the link, send that to me. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I just think of like an old school calendar in my head and I'm like, February.
Do you flip the page on your calendar?
I guess if I'm envisioning a calendar, I am envisioning one that's like
a physical calendar.
Yeah.
Mine is like this like spatial ring. And in the summer, I'm behind the ring, like staring at it.
the fuck?
But anytime after September, I'm inside of the ring. September to April, I'm in the ring.
I'm always just staring at a calendar.
Mine's a Monopoly board, like laid out flat, or like a sorry.
Wait, really?
Mine's Candyland. Sorry, it's Candyland
Oh,
of months,
okay,
but
like
they're
this.
flat, and I see them. So I know when you say February 26th, it's there. Interesting. Send that video.
Wait, that's so fascinating. Wow. Yeah, our brains are crazy, but it's interesting how there are similarities.
There are.
But yeah,
On that note.
on that note, AV, oh, by the way, before we get into that, actually watch us on YouTube. Sorry, I forget.
You have to cut the part of where I went like this on YouTube because I thought I bled through.
Keeping it in.
Gonna leave that part in and zoom in.
So AV, do what you do best.
Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I think that's all. And subscribe to us on YouTube and on all the podcast forums and leave us a 5-star review.
Yes. Love you guys. And we hope that if any of this stuff resonated, if you're going through a breakup, you're not alone. We love you.
We love you. I'm sorry if it resonated.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. But if you are going through breakup, like, we're all in this together and you got this and it'll be better on the other side. We can go through it together. Okay, bye.
Bye.